If you have less than 5,000 followers on any given social media platform and you're desperately waiting for the algorithm to give you a boost, you might be waiting a while. So how are you supposed to grow your audience if the algorithm gods don't like you yet? Well, stick around, because in this video, I'm going to share what I'm doing as a small creator to promote my content offline, and you're welcome to borrow these tips. Hint, it's been working. Hey writers, welcome to my channel. I'm Denise Renee, a writer, editor, and content strategist. And I help people write books and create content that grows their brand. And trust me, I know the struggles of being a small content creator myself. Now, my work experience has allowed me to work on other brands and other social media platforms, both large and small, and I've helped them accomplish their social media goals. Now it's time for me to do it for myself. Now, not gonna lie, growing an audience on social media from scratch in 2024 is not for the faint of heart, no matter the platform. And I have started and stopped on my journey several times out of frustration. But I finally reemerged in September 2023 and rebranded. But that means I'm starting from scratch again. So as of this recording in January 2024, I've been seeing very slow but very steady progress in my main area of focus, which is my YouTube channel. My secondary focus is growing my email list. And my third objective is simply to maintain a presence on a handful of other platforms for a variety of reasons, but they don't receive my 100% focus. Now, because I am a marketing nerd, I'm always educating myself on what are the current best practices and trends on YouTube and other platforms. And I see a lot of education on how to create content, but not so much on how to promote your content. Most of that education is focused on maximizing your content for organic discoverability. But when you're just starting out, it takes so long for the algorithms to show you some organic love. So I realized that I have to create my own momentum by promoting my content offline so that I give my content a better chance for organic discovery. So I don't necessarily take all the advice out there as gospel. I use the strategies that work best for me and my situation, and I take certain liberties to experiment. Now, I'm going to share with you what I've been observing over these last few months that works for me as a small creator to get more eyeballs on her content. So step number one for me promoting my content offline is actually rooted in having my owned online presence. That means having the trifecta of having a website, blog, and email list. Now, this is an old school principle that still works today. I mean, hey, call me Gen Xer and I will probably answer to it, but I remember life before social media took root in the mid-2000s. I didn't have to think too hard about what individuals and businesses did to promote ourselves before we started relying on an algorithm to make us go viral. I easily remember a time before computers and devices in every home was ubiquitous. I mean, however did we promote ourselves with such crude technology? Well, youngins, hey, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I'm talking to you, okay? In the early wild, wild west of the World Wide Web, we put up these things called blogs, shared it with our friends and family, who then shared it with theirs. It was good old word of mouth. And because this was pre-algorithms running the world, things spread like wildfire. But for this to work, you have to have a centralized hub that you owned so that you had a place for your family and friends and all those referrals to come to. It was true then, and it's true now. Today, you never want to just simply direct people to your social platforms first. Why not? Because it's too easy for social accounts to get hacked or for the platforms to decide to deactivate your account. All of your content and your access to your followers can be gone in an instant. Those followers will look for you in their apps, but they will have no way of reconnecting with you because you built that audience on borrowed territory. But if you're still a small creator, you can train your audience to come to you outside of the social media platforms when you have your own website, blog, and email list. If they know you will give them a more valuable experience on your blog and through your email newsletter, they will come. If you haven't created your own website or feel like it could use updating, check out this collaborative video that I did with Carol Dunlop of Wow Websites that shares DIY website creation tips. So here's how I use my website, blog, email list trifecta to give my followers a unique experience outside of social media. First, I own my own domain name, www.writingwithdeniserenee.com. I do not have a site like createspace.com/my username or wix.com/my username. I own it and I control it and I design it myself using WordPress. So my website has the standard information, shares who I am and how I can help my clients. But I also have a blog on this domain. Now this is important because frequent updates to my blog are a great signal to search engines like Google, which value fresh and updated content appearing on my website. It gives my site more authority in the search engine rankings over time. It's very easy to embed dynamic content from other sources into websites and blogs these days, such as YouTube videos, podcasts, audio players, tweets, TikToks, and of course, links to other web pages. So I will typically write a blog post around a topic that I've shared in a YouTube video, and then I embed it into that post. It's important to note that I don't simply restate what was said in the video. I write in a way that complements or adds to the information in the video. I might also include links to additional resources if it makes sense for that topic. I'm always creating posts and videos in a way that keeps the best interests of my audience at the forefront. My goal is to help them along their book writing and content creating journey. There's also a segment of my audience who works corporate jobs and need resume, LinkedIn profile, and networking help. Since that also falls under the umbrella of my brand as a writer, I create content for them as well. Now, if you'd like to see an example of how this all comes together, you can visit my best example of this today at www.writingwithdeniserenee.com/AI-writing-tools. So how do I get eyeballs on my blog posts? Well, I send a weekly email newsletter to those who are on my email list. I'll share an idea that I think my readers will find helpful, and I'll link them to either the blog post or to the YouTube video. Now, as a member of my email list, my readers are getting used to visiting my website and seeing me on YouTube, where I'm often referring people back to my website. Often in my videos, I'm promoting a free resource that viewers can access by signing up for my free resource. And when they sign up, it automatically puts the new people onto my email list. Once they're in, this now becomes a self-feeding loop. By placing my primary focus on growing my email list and always giving people who discover my content a reason to go to my website and get on my email list, I've now created my own personal algorithm. So now I can direct my email list subscribers to my content on my website or to the various platforms where I have a presence on as it's relevant or helpful to their experience. Over time, as my email list grows, this is going to yield better and better results for me and my business. Now, having my own personal algorithm keeps me insulated from hacking or deplatforming incidences in the long run. But in the short term, it helps me to give a boost to my content. When I drive traffic to my content, then the algorithm tends to push it out to more people who've never heard of me before. And some of those people, when they discover me, decide to join my email list, and the circle continues to expand. So with that all-important foundation laid, now it's time for step number 2 of how I promote my content offline. I convert my offline conversations into my email list, with permission, of course. At the time of this recording, I'm 4 months into my rebrand and my reemergence on social media platforms on a somewhat consistent basis. The holidays kind of threw me off a little bit, but now that January 2024 is well underway, I'm back on track. So as a result of my online and offline marketing activities, I've been seeing a steady trickle of interest in my circles, and I've been having sales conversations with prospects. Regardless of how that sales conversation turns out, I always ask their permission if I can add them to my email list. I know that they are interested in how I can help them, so usually people tell me yes, it's okay for me to add them to my weekly newsletter. I want to get them onto my email list because I know that even if they don't make a purchase with me right now, they might probably do so in the future. Furthermore, they may know other people who might need my help. So now by showing up in their inbox once a week, whether they open up every single email or not, I'm consistently staying top of mind with them. So sometimes I'm speaking to someone who found me on social media, but I cannot always rely on the algorithm to show my content to them on a consistent basis. So if they're on my email list, I can definitely control having my name show up in their inbox once a week. Now, networking is another way that I convert my offline conversations into my email list. Every now and then, I actually leave my house, drive in my car to a location, and meet other people who might be interested in how I can help them, and vice versa. And I also network with people online by leaving comments, taking the conversation to the DM, then setting up a Zoom meeting whenever it's appropriate. Now, in these scenarios, if the other person is expressing a deep interest in my work and my services, then again, I will ask them if I can place them on my email list. Once they're on my email list, you know what happens next. So what are some one-on-one scenarios that you find yourself in where you can begin to convert people onto your email list? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, leveraging one-to-one connections is great, but we can kick this up a notch. So on to step number 3 of how I promote my content offline. And that is I leverage other people's audiences to get more email signups and more social media followers. Now, to be more accurate, these activities can be done both online and offline. But the trick is, I'm still not relying on the algorithm on my platforms to push out my content. I'm still driving new followers to me. So let's start with my offline tactics first. Every now and then, I am invited to speak or give a presentation to a group about book writing or about content marketing. I always make sure that I develop a free resource that gives more information which complements my talk. At several points throughout my talk, I'm encouraging the listeners to sign up for my free resource. Typically, I find that I get a bunch of people signing up to my email list from that event. The event could be an in-person meeting or a virtual one, but the results are the same. I now have new people coming onto my email list, and I also typically find a spike in new followers on my social channels after I've been at this type of an event. Now, another way that I leverage other people's audiences is by doing collaborative videos. I mentioned one a little bit earlier in this video. And at the time of this recording, I'm collaborating with 3 other content creators, and we're doing these short video swaps. The point is to get more exposure to their audiences and for them to get exposure to mine. Another way to leverage other people's audiences so that I can get new subscribers onto my email list is by doing podcast interviews. I recorded one earlier in January, which will come out on that podcaster's platform pretty soon. In 2024, I plan on being a guest on more podcasts and doing more content collaborations because they are great audience growth hacks. By continuously exposing myself to new audiences, the probability of getting new followers and new subscribers to my email list and new people who may consider working with me to write their books or create their content increases exponentially. Now, I will say that even as my audience and email list grows and the algorithm starts showing me some love, I do not plan on stopping these types of activities. I am confident that as I continue to promote myself and my content, the algorithms that host my content will eventually catch up, and they're going to amplify my methods organically. Now, I'm quite certain that I may also get to a point where I may choose to use paid promotions for certain pieces, and that's another way to not have to necessarily rely on the algorithm. But I don't recommend paying to promote a piece of content unless it has performed well organically first. So those are the 3 ways that I promote my content offline and make sure I'm not waiting for the algorithm to make me go viral. I hope that you found this video helpful. If so, give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments which of these steps you're having the biggest challenges with, and I'll be happy to address your concerns in an upcoming video. Now, if you would like to get on my email list and get access to a more robust content experience from me, then visit www.writingwithdeniserenee.com and scroll down to the bottom. There, you'll find my newsletter sign up. Enter your email address, hit submit, and welcome to my community of writers and content creators. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not done so yet, and check out one of these videos next.